Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll show you how to play arcade games on your PC using the Flycast Emulator. Flycast is a multi-platform emulator that supports not just one system, but 3 different platforms: Sega Dreamcast, Atomiswave, and Sega NAOMI 1 and NAOMI 2. With Flycast, you can enjoy many popular arcade games on your PC, including Crazy Taxi, Metal Slug 6, and many other classic titles. The emulator is well known for its excellent compatibility, lightweight performance, and modern features such as higher internal resolution, controller support, save states, and many customizable settings to improve your gaming experience. In this tutorial, I'll guide you through the entire process, from downloading the Flycast emulator, preparing the BIOS and game files, completing the initial setup, configuring your controller, and finally launching your favorite arcade games. So, make sure to watch this video until the end so you don't miss any important steps. Before installing Flycast, make sure your PC meets the minimum system requirements. You'll need Windows 7 or later as your operating system. For the processor, you'll need an Intel Core i3 or an equivalent AMD dual-core processor. At least 4 GB of RAM is required. Finally, make sure your graphics card supports OpenGL 2.0, DirectX 11, or Vulkan. If your PC meets the minimum system requirements, let's move on to the first step. Open Google and search for Flycast Emulator. Then, click the first result that takes you to the official GitHub page. On the GitHub page, scroll down to the Releases section and download the latest version. At the time of recording this video, the latest release is version 2.6. Next, you'll be taken to a new page. Scroll down until you reach the Assets section. Then download the Windows version of Flycast. Finally, wait for the download to finish before moving on to the next step. After the emulator has finished downloading, the next step is to prepare the BIOS file. The BIOS is required so Flycast can properly run Dreamcast games. In this tutorial, I will only show you how to find the Dreamcast BIOS. For other systems, such as Atomiswave and NAOMI, you will need to search for their BIOS files separately depending on the system you want to play. To find the Dreamcast BIOS, open your browser and search for Dreamcast BIOS GitHub. Then, choose the first result that leads to the GitHub page. On this GitHub page, select the BIOS folder. Then scroll down and find the folder named Sega. After entering the Sega folder, select the Dreamcast folder. Inside this folder, you will find several BIOS files. Choose the file named dc_boot.bin. Then click the download icon to save the file. After that, go back to the Dreamcast folder, select the file named dc_flash.bin, and repeat the same steps to download it. After all the required files have been downloaded, we can move on to the next step, which is extracting the Flycast Emulator file and opening the emulator folder. Then, double-click the flycast.exe file to launch the emulator. This is the initial interface of the Flycast emulator. The next step is to add the BIOS files that you downloaded earlier. Copy all of your BIOS files. Then open the Flycast folder that you extracted previously. Inside the Flycast folder, you will now see a new folder called Data. This folder is created automatically the first time you launch the Flycast emulator. Open the Data folder, then paste all of your BIOS files into it. If you have NAOMI or Atomiswave BIOS files in .zip format, you do not need to extract them. Simply copy the .zip files into the Data folder. After adding the BIOS files, the next step is to configure the Flycast emulator. Open the Flycast emulator again, then click on Settings. In the General tab, under the Cable option, select VGA. This will allow games that support VGA mode to display with sharper and clearer image quality. Next, go to the Content Locations section. This is where you add the folders that contain your game files. Before adding the games, I want to show you the different game formats supported by Flycast. Here, I have Dreamcast games in CHD and bin or CUE formats. Atomiswave games in zip, and GDI formats. NAOMI games in zip format, and NAOMI 2 games also in zip format. To add your games, click the Add button, then browse to the folder where your game collection is stored. Once you've found it, click Select Current Folder in the bottom left corner. Next, scroll down to the Custom Paths section, then go to the BIOS folder option. One of Flycast's biggest advantages is that if you've already placed your BIOS files in the emulator's default data folder, there's no need to set the BIOS directory manually. Flycast will detect the BIOS files automatically. For the other custom paths options such as Save State folder, Save Data folder, and similar settings, you can leave them at their default values. However, if you'd like to save your files in a different location or use an HD texture pack, you can configure each directory from this menu. Next, go to the Controller section under Physical Device. If you're using a keyboard, you don't need to configure the keys manually because Flycast already includes a default keyboard layout. If you'd like to change the key mapping, click the Map button next to the keyboard option. Here, you can customize each key to your preference. To remap a key, click the Map button for the control you want to change. A window like this will appear. Then, press the key on your keyboard that you want to assign. When you're finished, click Done in the top left corner to save your changes. Next, if you'd like to use an external controller, such as an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, connect it to your PC first. Just like with the keyboard, you don't need to configure the buttons manually because Flycast automatically provides a default controller layout. However, if you'd like to customize the button mapping, click the Map button next to your controller, then follow the same steps we covered earlier. Next, let's move on to the video section. Under Graphics API, I recommend selecting Vulkan if your graphics card supports it, as it generally provides better performance. However, if your graphics card doesn't support Vulkan or you run into compatibility issues, you can use DirectX 11 instead. Next, under the transparent sorting option, if you have a more powerful PC, you can select per pixel for more accurate graphics. However, if your PC only meets the minimum requirements, I recommend selecting per triangle. It provides a good balance between performance and visual quality. Next, under rendering options, if your PC only meets the minimum system requirements, leave the internal resolution at native. If your PC has better hardware, you can increase it to 2 times or higher for sharper visuals. After that, make sure to enable linear interpolation to smooth 2D textures. You can also enable VSync to reduce screen tearing. However, if you notice lower performance or increased input lag while playing, you can simply disable VSync. Under aspect ratio, enable widescreen if you want the game to fill your monitor. Finally, under anisotropic filtering, you can increase the value to 4 times or higher to make textures look sharper, especially when viewed at an angle. Just keep in mind that higher anisotropic filtering settings require more GPU power and may reduce performance on lower-end PCs. For the remaining sections, such as audio, network, and advanced, you can leave them at their default settings. Once you're done with all the settings, don't forget to click Done to save your changes. If the game you have is compatible with Flycast, its cover art will automatically appear in the emulator's main menu. I almost forgot to mention one more thing. If you have a game in DT format and it doesn't appear in the Flycast main menu, you can try launching it manually by dragging and dropping the game file into the emulator window. If you get an error like this while playing, don't worry. First, close the game by pressing the Tab key on your keyboard, then select Close Game. Once you're back at the Flycast main menu, open Settings. Under General, find the region option and set it to match the region of the game you're playing. If you're not sure which region the game uses, you can try each available region one by one. Once you find the correct region, launch the game again, and it should run normally. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next tutorial video.